What's up, everybody? It is Figure It Out Thursday. On Thursdays, I'm back. What's going on? I'm a real estate guy from the internet. I first of all want to say how much I appreciate the fact that you're here. The main thing that I'm going to be sharing today is not just dank memes like this one or like this one. Why do I do this? It's all like internet stuff. Internet is so weird that you have to have all these ridiculous things for people just to get attention, and I apologize for that sort of terrible behavior. But the thing that I want to share with you today is a wonderful interview that I had in person with Lauren Cadillac of Dallas Fort Worth. She's a real estate attorney who also has her LLM, so she can help with disputes in your taxes if you're in Texas. But the bigger thing is her organization called AAREA, which is the American Association of Real Estate Attorneys. That's what we were discussing mostly. So I'm going to hit share right here and pull that up. And I'm going to assume that it looks good. I know I have to go back and I need to mute myself or else all sorts of chaos will ensue. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and let's... Nice angles. All right.
Good job, Dan.
I do what I can. All right. Hey, thanks for joining. I'm Dan Fredenberg, and I'm here with Lauren Cadillac. How are you doing today, Lauren?
I'm well. How are you?
Fantastic. So the first thing I want to talk about is AAREA. It's the American Association of Real Estate Attorneys.
Yes.
First try.
Good job.
Awesome. So as far as the aspirations of AAREA, I think it makes a lot of sense to have referrals in each different area of the United States. You have to have some idea of who's doing what. And I had the good fortune to meet enough attorneys to know that some people do a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and they don't really focus on it because chances are they're not going to get stuck with litigation if they're being careful at all anyway. But maybe you can say a thing or two about what exactly are the goals, what benefits, that sort of thing.
So the American Association of Real Estate Attorneys was established with keeping in mind attorneys throughout the United States who have to touch real estate in any capacity. So in my experience, there are a bunch of family law attorneys, and they run into, in Texas, an oilty issue and need a deed, or how do I do this oilty lien? That is not something they know about. That's not a family law topic. So if they're a member of the American Association of Real Estate Attorneys, they have a network of attorneys who have real estate somehow in their practice that they can go to and ask questions of, how do I do this, or can someone do this for my client? On top of that, we are a national brand that shows the public that we have real estate experience, that we're a prestigious group of attorneys, and that we practice some form of real estate. And to your point, real estate law and practices are so nuanced. Some people do only commercial leases. Some do only residential mortgage work. It's so varied and niche and nuanced that the members of AAREA can collaborate and network, get to know each other, and refer each other business.
All right, I love it. So I think the next question then is to talk more about you. You are a real estate attorney yourself. You've got your LLM, so you also are involved in the tax side of things. Maybe you can just introduce yourself a little bit further to the audience.
Well, my background is real estate. I started in real estate at 19 years old, and actually went to real estate sales school thinking that it would be a good idea for law school. Turns out it was. I have practiced in real estate in my own legal practice, and I have my LLM in taxation, not necessarily for legal tax advice, but really with an interest in property tax, and specifically Texas property tax. And so I literally wrote the book on Texas property taxes, and am a bit of an expert on Texas property tax.
I love it. And I read and finished volume 1. There's now a volume 2 out. What are some of the big changes or additions for that one?
Well, we had a huge change last year, Dan. The homestead got increased to 100,000, and that was an immediate discount for all property owners that they either saw last year or they're seeing this year. But that also caused trouble on the back end because the counties are not collecting as much, so they really increased the values more so that they could recoup the funds that our legislature wanted us to save.
All right, great stuff. So then I guess the next question then it goes back to AAREA and being involved in AAREA. I guess the real questions are like, what are some of the things that you keep on hearing from attorneys where it's a difficult thing to achieve? I get that advertising as an attorney, it's a very competitive, aggressive market. I'm Canadian, sorry. But I've even seen enough of the crazy ads you get with different attorneys. I know I pitched one or two with you as an idea, but what are some of the things that some attorneys struggle with these days? And it doesn't have to be something that AAREA is going to fix, but.
Well, I would say the biggest struggle for a solo practitioner like myself is practice management. And AAREA can help with practice management. We have some practice management tools that we offer for free. We have vendor discounts with vendors like Case Crafter that helps. It's a software, you just input some things and boom, your pleading is written. So we have access to health insurance. As solos, it's so hard to find insurance for ourselves and our families, for our employees. So we have access to health insurance. We have an annual meeting. Our first one is going to be this November. We're offering a CLE. One of our members is presenting a continued legal education for us. And we're a nationwide network. So we're very new. So currently we have members in Texas, North Carolina, and Florida. When I have a case that touches Florida, I now have someone to go to. Hey, who can I send here? Do you do this? What should I advise my trusted client? And vice versa. When they need someone in the DFW area, they can hop onto AAREA. Another excellent benefit of being an AAREA member is we have basically a social network. And it's very much like LinkedIn, where we met, Dan, where we keep a database of continuing legal education that is real estate specific by state. We have the database of vendors, the vendor discounts, but there's also social networking with the attorneys who are members of AAREA.
All right, awesome. So I should mention. That's a great place to pause because I want to explain what else is going on here. Why do we talk about this stuff? Well, that's the beauty of getting into real estate. I know that there's a lot of people who say, oh yeah, get rich quick and all that kind of stuff, and that's BS. There's if you actually put yourself in the position of a deal sponsor, what are the motivations that they have to make you rich? Well, the answer is you have to get involved and you have to actually provide value. But the real benefit, the promise that I do think is real from all of this is you will get more control over your daily schedule. Sure, if you are a capital raiser, for example, if you're involved in 506B or 506C deals, and in other words, you're trying to get passive investors in your business so you can make some real estate acquisitions, that's definitely a possibility. I guess I should mention that I have a service to help with that right here. But bing, it says Chance Encounters, but you can ignore it. But if you scan the QR code that's in the corner there, that goes straight to the FAQs page of 506BME, which shows your coverage. But the more important thing I want to emphasize is because you have the time freedom in your schedule, then you get to do things that you choose to. Spend more time with your family. And one thing I get to do is hang out with people like Lauren because I want to. All right, so that was fun. So yeah, it's I know that my branding is very very confusing these days, between this being Figure It Out Thursday on Thursdays and the Because I Want a thing there, but I just like to, make the mix a little bit more interesting. But this interview here is with Lauren Cadillac out of Dallas Fort Worth. She's a real estate attorney and she's talking about a new organization, a new association for real estate attorneys across the United States. And let's continue. I guess I need to mute to make sure it doesn't echo too much. Here you go. Since you talked about LinkedIn and that's how we met, I have this ridiculous hat on my head that says real estate is a scam.com, and that's because I know search engine optimization and I know some people are going to be searching for it. So I'm a technical background sort of person, and one of the things that I think is kind of overblown, even though it made one company into the most expensive company on earth, NVIDIA, it's AI. Mm-hmm. So I think that's got to be a question on a lot of real estate attorneys' minds, which is where will AI fit in? Can it fit in? Is it a net positive, a net negative? My biggest concerns about AI are what they call hallucinations, which is where they just make crap up. And of course, my view on that is that it means it's not that much different from a human.
Yeah. It is strong.
Right. But I think having a network of attorneys in real estate to tackle a subject like that, I think it's the only option that you have, because I think sticking your head in the sand, I think you're leaving yourself a little bit vulnerable to changes in the market and things like that. But
I would agree. And so in terms of AAREA, our members have access to a discount with CaseCrafter, and CaseCrafter does use AI to help build pleadings and whatnot. I have a client who is in the private sector tech field, and he's like, AI is coming, it's taking over the legal system, and every day I always say, no, you're wrong, we're not a tax-paying country. We do not like taxes. Our entire country is based off of not paying taxes, and you get what you pay for. So about a week or two ago, I was watching Law and Crime, just kind of scrolling through, and I found this scene that appeared to me to come out of 1979. The courtroom setup looked like 79. Even the man who was testifying looked like 1979. And I was I went and looked at the information and I was like, what is this? I screenshotted it and sent it to that client who's so convinced that AI is going to take over the court system. And I said, hey, you know how this looks like before we were born? Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago in Detroit. Yeah. We don't pay taxes in this country. We do not keep up with technology at the government level. People come to me all the time. Some idiot has filed a memo of sale, which is not even a thing in Texas. It's not even a thing. They've recorded this thing that isn't even a thing on this other person's property, and now the other person's property is encumbered, or their title is clouded. And they say, how could that happen? Well, how is there not a system? And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Our postal system doesn't even work. That's been around for hundreds of years. Like, because it's the government. The healthcare thing, we don't want government healthcare, Dan. Our government does not function at a regular, normal level. We don't want that over in charge of our lives.
I love that.
Yeah.
It really is amazing. And when I think about it, there's a huge risk that I'm getting into the weeds here, so I apologize if you bear with me for a moment. But because I'm a developer, I can code, I can create different online web applications, web-based applications from scratch, just using Notepad. So it's not a matter of technical know-how that's missing in my case. But the thing I want to mention is that it's no secret in the chess community, for example, which is a highly analytical game, a highly detail-oriented game. Since the 90s, no human has stood a chance against the best computers. And that might make you think that, we're all in a little bit of trouble. But one thing that I've found now that I've got huge into chess, you can check out on YouTube, I have a real estate Okay, so yeah, sorry for the slow pausing here. I'm trying not to make the screen too big and too small and all that kind of stuff, but I do want to mention that chess show a little bit more. But before I do that, I have to basically share the sponsors, the people who I'm involved with right now as far as real estate. The person I want you to know the most is my friend Joe Cook. So if you'll spare me 1 minute, literally, here we go.
Small does nothing but put more money in the pot.
Right.
If we talk about just the investor side, I mean, Shane talked about the sponsor side a little bit. I'll talk about the investor side. Okay, so you want the most money in terms of return with the least risk. All right, you want to do it yourself, you can go get 13 or 14%. You're going to do all the underwriting, it's not going to be passive.
If you bet, probably not.
I think I'd have to bet at least 2,500 before they fold.
And the pot is
4,000.
4,000. Yeah, I think you're right, but I'd rather just check.
Okay.
First position, you have the right of collection and the right of foreclosure or sheriff's sale, well, wherever you're at.
Okie dokie. So there it is. I'll slap this on the screen here too for a second. Sponsored by Equity Capital Funding Group. And that's a debt fund. So that means it's a real estate lender. And the idea being that if you're an accredited investor, then you might want a manager to go out and find deals where you can loan to them instead of being wrapped up in equity and illiquidity as a result, and just short-term loans that are relatively high interest. And basically, after a management fee is taken away, then the results are split. So that's what that offer is. But I was mentioning the chess show, and I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't really want to switch my screen. I'm already sharing this screen. I don't want to share a different one, but it is here on YouTube. If you do subscribe to the channel, which would be a huge favor to me, then you can see the chess episodes as they come out. And it looks like today I'm going to be doing a different type of recording where I'm actually going to play atomic chess. I don't know if you've ever heard of that variation, if you've ever gotten into chess, but it's really a whole lot of fun to try it out. But this interview right here is with Lauren Cadillac. We've just got a few minutes left, so let's continue. A real estate podcast where we do it over a game of chess. But if you follow the grandmasters that are out there right now, they will tell you that you can't just follow the computer's advice, which as a programmer, that just flew in my face. If that's impossible. There's no way that this thing can, predictably win against absolutely anybody, and then still following their instructions are a bad idea. Mm-hmm. But just like an attorney, you become an expert on the system, become an expert on the people involved, and so you can sit there and diagnose little itsy bits and pieces where a computer might say one thing, but mm-hmm. It's like, in practice it's not going to be like that.
Right.
So that's applicable?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's the law is very subjective. Like, we want to think that it's XYZ, but it's not black and white. It's incredibly subjective. And the English language is contextual and subjective, right? That's why sound bites, like meaningless sound bites, are ruining people's lives, because you're not looking at the whole context of which the discussion occurs. So how can a computer detect, my eyebrow moving and my squirming and those sort of things? It can't. It can't tell the human side. And that doesn't even matter. We're not even going to get to that because we won't spend the money. Mm-hmm. So it's like having that discussion is kind of a waste of time. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter if a computer could get it right. We would never spend the money to even see if that would happen.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it is quite similar to how it appears to be in medicine as well. But I guess let's talk some more about social media. So you've had some great success this year on YouTube. Mm-hmm. I've been improving myself as well. What do you think is the overall, I don't even know the word. I want to say milieu, but that's weird. I really mean like the environment, just the climate as far as people trying to make things work online. And so I guess that goes both to LinkedIn and into YouTube.
I really don't know. I don't know anything about other people. I really don't. I don't pay attention to other people or what they're trying to do. I have a very hard time. One time someone asked me about my competition and I looked at them like a deer in headlights. And I was upset that I didn't just say it then. Later, I was like, I should have said, what competition, dude? Like, I don't really pay attention to other people and what they're doing, especially as it compares to like me and what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, I can't answer that question.
So it sounds like that has to do with your own level of hustle then, because I think that if you're out there interacting with people, engaging with people and saying, hey, I'm a person who can do these legal services for you, then chances are they haven't met another real estate attorney or something like that. Is that really, or is it through advertising that you find you get most of your inbound?
I actually think the best inbound, well, I will say that I know the best inbound leads are from other attorneys, which is part of the reason I established AAREA, because those are clients of people. They've already been vetted, right? Like they've already hired that attorney, they paid their bill on time, et cetera, right? So when they come to me, they've gone to their attorney and they've gotten a serious response about who can take care of it. So now they come to me and they're actually going to listen. Right. Whereas, people will Google and then they get a Google law license and then they want to do a debate with me, which I won't do unless they're actually licensed, right? I'm not going to debate the law with a non-licensed attorney. So yeah, the best referrals are from each other as attorneys, as professionals. But I have people find me everywhere. People find me on YouTube. People, I don't know, they find me a lot on Facebook, on local groups. That seems to be pretty fruitful as well, especially for real estate, because it is a local issue.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, and you're based in Dallas, and we're actually up here in Canada, which I don't know if you want to tell the story about why on earth would somebody from Texas decide to go up to Ottawa, Canada?
Well, my daughter loves whitewater rafting, and I love tax deductions. So I'll let our audience put two and two together.
Right. I love that. That's hilarious. But so I like that idea of cooling off. I just think it's just funny because you see so many people moving to Dallas these days.
Mm-hmm.
Over the last few years,
yep.
the growth has been absolutely amazing. So would AAREA work as maybe like some sort of lily pad? Moving to an area that has more demographic growth. Basically setting roots.
Sure. Absolutely. We offer free membership for students. So if you're running a firm and you're looking for interns, AAREA's the place to go look for them. If you need a job, that's a great place. You want to move to Connecticut from Texas, then you can go on AAREA, meet and network with some Connecticut attorneys. Already have a network when you get there. Already know people when you get there. So it is absolutely that.
Mm-hmm. And so that makes me think about switching states, though, because of course, there's the issue of bar exams and all that sort of thing. I remember you grew up, or at least spend a chunk of time in your youth in Arizona. Mm-hmm. So was everything that you did legally in Texas, or was there some?
No, Dan, I got totally screwed. I took the Texas bar exam, and then a few years later, they switched to the universal bar exam. And so I sat for 3 grueling days. And now they only sit for 2. And I could only be admitted to 1 state's bar, and they can be admitted to 35. I'm a little sore about the subject. We probably shouldn't go too deep on it.
I can relate to that, but the reason why I mention it is that if I were, starting my attorney practice, then that's something that I think would be crossing my mind. It's like, is my backyard the best place? So it sounds like because of this universal bar exam that you really can get a lot of additional benefit by having that kind of group, because it's not like you're
Absolutely.
pigeonholed.
Exactly. And you can go to them as a resource. You're new to that area. Hey, what's a good book you read? Whose class should I take? There's a resource for you.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. So if people want to reach out to you, I know LinkedIn is a big thing for you, just like me, but well, I know that your book is available on Amazon.
It is.
Yeah, it's so what are the best ways for people to reach out?
So if you're interested in AAREA, it's AAREA law, LAW.com. If you need legal services in Texas, it's CadillacLaw.net. Cadillac is spelled like the car, but with one L, CADILAC. And our number is 972-845-1200.
All right, I love it. So first of all, I'd like to say thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time. And the other thing is thank you for all of this. We'll find something else to record afterwards.
Okay, sounds great. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so you could probably hear the echo from that, and I didn't trim it in time, but yeah, so this has been Figure It Out Thursdays on Thursdays. I guess I should give you an inspirational quote to end off. I guess before that, I can show you some other fun stuff you can do. If you want to check out FIGGERRIDOUT.com, it's basically designed to tickle your funny bone, but make sure you don't have any young ears around for some of it. Gilbert Gottfried, he can he left G rating at the doorstep when he left for work that day, and he went far away. It's really funny, but figure it out. Yeah, it's spelled funny, FIGGERRIDOUT. That's what that's all about. As far as other ways you could support this channel and all that kind of stuff, you can hit me up on Amazon. I've got a few different business skill building related subjects in different books available there, and they're cheap, which is pretty sweet, right? But the inspirational quote that I'm going to end off with is this meme from Terry Crews. It says, everybody says they're trying to get their piece of the pie. They don't realize the world's a kitchen. You can make your own pie. I think that's pretty sweet, right? And here's a picture of me holding onto a rocket and stuff. Anyway, that's what I got for you today. I'm getting hungry. It's lunchtime, and I got a busy day ahead of me. So please do comment. We'll say hi and all that kind of stuff, and I'll see you next Figure It Out Thursday on Thursdays. It's at a random time on Thursdays. Surprise. Thanks. Bye.